it's a constant across the entire domain of human history that about 3 to 5% of the population is psychopathic. And we understand more and more about how those people conduct themselves. So,
welcome to the Freedom Unchained channel. I got a pretty interesting clip I found for you guys. Jordan Peterson answering a question about, is it the left's problem that they fundamentally hate free speech? That's pretty much the question it was. And his answer is pretty interesting. It's the problem that I see in politics and the deep state takeover of our governmental agencies. And that's why I believe I'm an anarchist, if you want to put a title or a label on anything. I prefer not to put titles and labels on, or labels. Titles are different than labels. If you go watch my last video about property, you understand that titles is a thing that you need to secure your property. And let me clarify that more in this video, that a title is not a physical thing, a paper. If you go watch the video, you'll actually understand it's just a title, like a label, like man or woman or mother and father or child or sister, brother, those kind of titles, just to make this clear so you guys don't harass me in the comments. But labels, not much of a fan of that. But if you want to label me, I'm an anarchist. I believe there should be rules without rulers. So that's why I kind of do this channel, is to kind of help build a better world without government. The corrupt men of the world, I pretty much believe, is they all get funneled into government. And that's pretty much what Jordan Peterson is saying here, is that the psychopaths, they normally find a niche, and I believe that's where they've gone, is the political class. So take a look at this, or listen to this, and let me know what you think. Leave a comment, and let's get the conversation started. Subscribe to the channel if you like videos like this. Smash the like button, and let's get started.
Eduardo Bolsonaro was here personally with me discussing this exact issue. We've seen this in Pakistan, India, the list goes on, Australia, and of course the US. Why? So first, is this an issue of the left that is censoring, or is that a systemic issue that because again, I'm apolitical. Let someone go ahead.
Okay, we're actually analyzing that problem improperly, because it's not fundamentally a political problem. What's happened, as far as I can tell, is that the technological revolution that's produced these remarkable means of communication, especially the social media networks, have run afoul of their own success in a manner that's extraordinarily fundamental. And it's a constant across the entire domain of human history that about 3 to 5% of the population is psychopathic. And we understand more and more about how those people conduct themselves. So the dark tetrad types are Machiavellian, so they use language only to manipulate. They're narcissistic, so they want unearned social credit and reputation. They're psychopathic, which makes them predatory parasites. And because that's all not enough, they're sadistic, which means they tend to take delight in the unnecessary suffering of others. We've evolved mechanisms in our normal discourse, our normal patterns of discourse, to keep them in check. Most of that has to do with reputation tracking, in that we live in networks that are connected to one another. So my friends tend to know the rest of my friends. We keep track of each other. And if anybody in that network starts playing psychopathic games, after 3 episodes, the word gets around and their effectiveness radically declines. This is why the psychopathic types are archetypal wanderers, vagabonds, because they have to invade new social networks. Now, they're always there, and they're not good people. Now, what's happened now with the rise of social media is that the psychopaths shelter behind the moral proclamations of the political actors. So that could be on the right, where they stand as defenders of free speech, or on the left, where they're compassionate beyond belief. That's camouflage. And what they do behind the scenes is continue their psychopathic games. And we see the psychopathic narcissists have hijacked the political discourse in the extremes. And the new social media networks are defenseless against that. They In fact, they amplify it because the negative messaging that these people rely on to accrue attention to themselves is more psychologically impactful than positive emotion, and we can't track their reputation. And so I think this is a cataclysm, and it's not diagnosed properly because it isn't the left against the right, even though I think at the moment that there are certain elements of the left, partly because they've been in power in the US for so long, that pose a more proximal danger. It's the psychopathic manipulators at the edges of the political spectrum against everyone else. And that really started to become a problem in about 2014 when these new forms of technology, which are radical beyond belief, right? Every new social media enterprise is as radical technologically, maybe as the invention of the printing press, or more so. And no one has any idea how to police them or even to identify the bad actors without falling of the censorship problem, let's say. First of all, we have to understand that this is not fundamentally a political problem. It's a psychological problem. It's the manipulative, narcissistic psychopaths against everyone else. And that's happened many times in human history. The French Revolution was hijacked by the psychopaths. The Russian Revolution was hijacked by the psychopaths. This happens all the time. And one of the most classic forms of defense of such people is their camouflage in moral virtue. Like the clinical psychopaths are unbelievably good at portraying themselves as victims. And so we're very naive about this. And we're discussing it at the wrong level of analysis. I watch acts all the time. I'm watching the bad actors on the left and on the right. And I see the personality patterns. There's a burgeoning literature on this, but it's not something that we don't know how to police discourse on the social media platforms. We don't have the mechanisms evolved. And I'll add to that, 30% of internet traffic is pornographic. At least another 20% is outright criminal. And then around that, there's a penumbra of troll demon bad actors who live to produce the kind of chaos that they think they could thrive in and that accrues undeserved benefit to them. These are very powerful technologies, and bad actors wield disproportionate influence on them.
Mr. Kennedy.
All right, so 3 to 5% of psychopaths are in the population. And it used to be that they would get discovered, people would start talking about them, and they would kind of get banished, and they would have to kind of move on into other communities. But now I think the majority of them have taken root into the political class or administrations of governments, and they seek power. They want to control people, and government kind of gives them a safe place to do that, because in government there's no accountability for anything. And I think this is a horrible thing. This is why I promote anarchism, where we have rules without rulers. That's pretty much what I call true law, or if you study the idea of common law, which is what I try to teach and spread on this channel, is the idea of true law and common law. That's what I call it, is true law, or natural law, or however you want to call it. But I believe the United States of America, as it once was, now it's a corporation called the United States of America. It was once a anarchist country, which was based off of rules, which are like natural laws, not rules made up by man, but rules made up by the environment, the world, spiritual world around us all. And that's what we use science to do, is to figure out how things actually work. And when we find how things work, we call it a law, like the law of gravity and stuff like that. I think that's the same fundamental idea of what true law is, and what we all are trying to practice and learn, so we can live without being controlled by other men, but we can get along, and we can use courts to figure out who is right and wrong. And I think we can get back to that if we all work together and we build communities that are decentralized, and we start to cut this big old corporate government out that's trying to manipulate us and steal all our money. And I think that's the path we need to get on, is decentralizing everything, making the smallest communities possible that we can create, and hopefully we can spread freedom. That's one reason I'm so adamant, trying to keep America going, the only land of the free, the only republic that actually had freedom. We kind of got to reverse the path, and then after we get the fundamental idea of America back, we can move forward into a more of a decentralized, smaller community government where we all are part of multiple communities that are self-governing themselves. That's a longer rant for another time. So if you guys like kind of that idea, please subscribe to the channel. Please like the video, like I asked before. If you guys haven't done that already, then leave a comment. Let's get a conversation started about any ideas you guys want to talk about. And until next time, I'm going to leave you guys in the love and the light of the one infinite creator. Peace.